Hello. How are you doing? Well, good. It's Saturday evening. I'm watching Good Omens. Good book, by the way. I actually listened to it on Audible, and it was quite entertaining. So now I'm watching it on Amazon. So, how was your evening? I hope well. I have a whole list. I'm starting a list of all the stuff that I'm going to talk about in future videos, such as, let's see, I don't know, let's see, supplements and vitamins, some books that I've read, float tanks. I started that. I said that in the other video. Float tanks. What is a float tank? You'll learn all about them. ADHD and menopause. What is it like to be a menopausal woman with ADHD who has lived with ADHD for 40 years? We'll talk about that. ADHD and stillness. Like I said before in my other video, the importance of being able to calm your mind. Critical thing. How do we do it? I watch a lot of these videos on ADHD as I create this channel, and I'm like, they're chaotic. They're like trying to impress you with all of these fast editing things. But how do we quiet the mind? We need to quiet the mind so we can hear what we're thinking, what we want to do, the goals that we want to have. Important. So we'll talk about that in another video too. ADHD and diet. So we may have other things going on with us. Low energy, anxiety, depression. But how can our diet help us be more focused, to be happier, to feel more joy, to feel more together instead of chaos? Because we don't want chaos, do we? ADHD and spirituality. We may all come from different spiritual belief systems, different spiritual practices. How does our spirituality and how do our spiritual practices affect our day-to-day lives? How do they bring us meaning? And how do they help us focus and give us inspiration and motivation to continue to the next day? ADHD and other diagnoses. ADHD doesn't generally happen in a vacuum. It happens in conjunction with many other things. There can be people who have obsessive compulsive disorder and have ADHD. There can be people who have depression and ADHD. There can be people that have ADHD and anxiety. So how do all these things kind of work together in this perfect storm that cause us issues? And how can we separate each diagnosis and every issue that we have and be able to properly attend to it and diagnose it and treat each individual things, instead of just throwing a pill at it, instead of throwing an antidepressant or throwing some Adderall at it? How do we treat each individual aspect of our diagnoses and the things that are going on with our lives? It's really important, because Doctors will say, oh, you have ADHD. Here's a pill. But how do we identify other stuff that's going on? Because other stuff may mimic ADHD, but it's not really ADHD, and vice versa. So we kind of want to be able to deal with that. And like as I said, you know, I was talking about ADHD and menopause. I'm a 51-year-old woman. I was diagnosed in 1980 at age 12, but I had problems before that. And I've lived my entire life pretty much with ADHD and knowing that I had something, my brain worked differently than everybody else's. And it caused me anxiety. It caused me depression. And many of those things actually, I had other stuff going on. So it's like, how do you sort through all the tendrils of things that are going on in your life? And if you're an older adult, how can you properly engage? I mean, you may have just recently been diagnosed with ADHD or something else, and you didn't know you had it your entire life, but you look back and you go, wow, that's why my life has been fucked up. We'll talk about that and how we can actually, as my eyes go the other way, I'm working with some equipment here. Anyway, I really hope, these are some upcoming topics that I'm hoping that we'll be able to talk about. And so I hope you join me. Please subscribe to my channel. And please select the little bell so every time I upload something, you'll be informed that I've uploaded something and you can watch it. And hopefully it will help you and you can share it with others. Thank you very much for taking the time to listen and be part of my journey. Thank you. Subscribe to Out of the Forest. Thank you. This is Kaylee.